Hello everyone, I'm Claire Huddleston. Thanks for joining us tonight. More jobs and economic growth could be headed to Marengo County. That as Demopolis city leaders invest $4 million into a new intermodal complex. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman has the details.
We need a win in this part of the state, and I think we're getting ready to get one.
It all rests on the shoulders of a proposed $53 million intermodal complex in West Demopolis. City and county leaders agree this project is a much-needed addition to the area.
To stem this migrational situation, obviously what we've got to do is we've got to bring some opportunities to the folks and bring new people in, and of course keep the folks that we got there and give them the opportunity to earn a little bit better.
We do believe that this will be something that can fundamentally alter the economic landscape here in this part of the state.
The county had been approached by several businesses in the past, but until now could not fill the most common request.
About 90% of our inquiries about industrial properties were for riverfront access or riverfront, direct riverfront, and we didn't have anything that we could market that was owned by the industrial board of the city at the time.
With the purchase of this $4 million property here, the proposed intermodal facility will now include 4 modes of transportation: the airport and railroad behind us, trucking to the south, and the river just 50 yards away. The proposed complex would eventually total more than 200 acres, making it the largest port along the Tim-Tom waterway.
This port has attracted them to our area. The possibility to have it here. With transportation costs being what they are, people are looking to move things on the water highways, we call them now.
Fox says this project means more construction work as well as putting money into local businesses and restaurants.
It means more jobs, more direct jobs, more indirect jobs. It means having educational opportunities that were not there before.
It's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a lot of money. I mean, we have just embarked on this project, so it's going to be a long-term project. Let me put it like that.
Officials say the port should open within the next 18 to 24 months, bringing 80 to 100 new jobs with it. In Demopolis, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
The city and county are currently in negotiations with a company to anchor the new intermodal complex. A West Alabama manufacturer and contractor are facing 19 safety and health violations. In January, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration inspected NTN Bowers plant in Hamilton. Inspectors found hazardous chemical containers without proper labels. This was a follow-up visit, so the company was written up for a repeat violation. Advanced Technology Services does maintenance at the plant. Both companies are facing a total of $112,000 in penalties. 3 Tuscaloosa County Jail inmates are accused of plotting to kill a detention officer. The Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office says Akeem Pruitt, Joshua Rasheed Dudley, and Jordan Owens are charged with attempted murder and second-degree assault. Sheriff Ted Sexton says the plan was to throw the detention officer headfirst from the second-floor tier of the dormitory. He says the inmates attacked 2 officers who were serving the inmates breakfast. One inmate swung at officers with a sock stuffed with a bar of soap. Other officers were called for help to get the fight under control.
It was the worst incident we've had since I've been the sheriff involving the jail. In this particular case, we had 3 inmates that were conspiring, coordinating a plan, and tried to implement a plan to kill a detention officer.
Sheriff Sexton says one of the officers involved will require medical treatment but is not hospitalized. The investigation is ongoing. April 27th tornado destroyed many signs on 15th Street, and some business owners are finding out they can't rebuild them exactly the way they were. WVUA's Bradley Whittington shows us why.
They've lined 15th Street for decades, but now a new ordinance could force business owners to change their signs. Tuscaloosa Planning and Development Director John McConnell explains why.
Several of the affected businesses in the recovery zone may have had signs that were essentially grandfathered under a previous ordinance that would no longer be permitted under our current laws.
McConnell says the ordinance isn't new. It changed nearly 4 years ago, but it's becoming an issue for business owners because April 27th tornado knocked down many of their signs.
The current ordinance was adopted because the city recognized that we were accumulating a large number of signs, and they were tall and big in area, and the cumulative effect of that created a lot of clutter and actually confusion to the motorists.
McAllister's Deli General Manager Britt Marshall says their T-sculpture created out of a damaged oak tree has their logo on it, and because of the updated ordinance, it might become their only sign.
The old oak tree was split in half, and he took a glass of McAllister's tea and just made it look like one. Well, that included, the McAllister's Deli logo on the front of it, and that seems to be a question as to whether or not that makes that a sign, or is it a piece of art, or is it part of the recovery.
Some businesses say the size of their sign isn't that big of a deal, but for places like Taco Casa, whose large cactus used to sit here, the situation is not the same.
Taco Casa is a part of Tuscaloosa and always will be. They don't want a sign every 5 feet down 15th Street anymore, and I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, there are businesses that have been here for 30 years that really deserve to have some amount of frontage that they used to have.
A meeting is set for August 8th to clear up any confusion about the sign ordinance. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Bradley Whittington, WVUA News.
Right now, a pole on 15th Street can be 150 square feet and 25 feet tall, while a monument can be 150 square feet and 15 feet tall. Today is the last day for McAllister's Deli TTown USA competition. It's an online competition to see which city gets the most votes. The top cities will get money for a local charity. Tuscaloosa's charity is Team Up Tuscaloosa, which is helping people rebuild after the April tornadoes. Tuscaloosa is currently in 4th place. Voting ends at midnight, so you can still help out. Go to TTownUSA.com to vote for Tuscaloosa. If you want to build a safe room in your home, now is the time to apply for a grant that could help you pay for it. You can get an application at the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse Annex, then take it to the Tuscaloosa County EMA office in front of Bruno's on McFarland Boulevard. Call 205-349-0150 if you have any questions. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference says its president has died 7 months after taking office. 57-year-old Reverend Howard Creasy Jr. died of a heart attack this morning in Atlanta. The Mobile native was elected SCLC president in January after Bernice King declined the position. Creasy was the pastor of the Olivet Church in Fayette County, Georgia. Time for a first look at Alabama's home team forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Claire, many of us got a good dousing of rain this afternoon. Showers and storms moving in from the south and east today. Up air disturbance working in across Mississippi and Alabama, now back in Arkansas, and it is weakening, and showers and storms pretty much have fizzled out. For the evening, we got plans outdoors over the weekend, Friday through Sunday. Not going to rain all day, but scattered storms are possible. Each day, the chance to rain at about 30%. The heat's going to be the big story. In fact, temperatures going to be back in the upper 90s by Saturday and Sunday. What about the rest of the forecast and the latest on the tropics? Home team weather's coming up. Stay with us.
Pomp and circumstance filled the air in Tuscaloosa tonight. WVUA's Sarah Chavnik takes us to the special event.
For Josiah French, it's a night he will never forget. The RISE program at the University of Alabama has inspired many students like Josiah to rise above the challenges and walk towards their future.
We are just amazed at this program. It's just been such a wonderful place for her to learn about herself and about her friends who are different than her, and I think she's learned from them as much as they've learned from her.
Dressed in caps and gowns, these 18 students got their diplomas with a little encouragement from UA strength and conditioning coach Scott Cochran.
Yeah, exactly.
For the past 35 years, RISE has prepared more than 2,000 children with and without special needs for school.
I believe that being able to combine the typically developing children with the children that do have special needs, it allows examples on both sides. It allows the children to grow together.
We are just so thankful that Martha and the staff here have worked so hard in creating an atmosphere that where truly kids do shine. And it's going to be interesting to see where these kids take this experience.
While the students are moving on to the other schools, their families say they will take their experience at RISE with them.
Come in thinking it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever did, and when you leave, it's the easiest.
They have learned things here that most grown-ups never get to get to in their adult life, and that is something that is priceless.
In Tuscaloosa, Sarah Chavnik, WVUA News.
The RISE program gained national prominence in the 1990s when University of Alabama football coach Gene Stallings became an advocate for it. The school is now housed in the Stallings Center on the UA campus.